Hey, happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber Check-In episode from Idaho's only 5-star accredited chamber. We have a new member to shout out who provides steel storage sheds, and I'm looking forward to sharing his story, him and his son's story. Today, we have owner Bryan Wilson with us today. I'm going to bring him on the screen here. Hey, Bryan.
Hey there, Paul. How are you?
Hey, I'm terrific. Thanks for carving out a little time with me today and help share your story.
Thank you.
So, Bryan, as a new chamber member, we started these virtual check-ins with members during the pandemic. For an outfit that gathers people for a living, and when COVID came, we couldn't gather people. So we had to figure out another way to engage with our members. And so this is one solution that we shifted to. And so since I think March of 20, was it 19 or 20? I think it was 19. It might have been 20. It's been a little bit of time now. We featured over 550 businesses. And I think it's just been great to help share their stories. And today, Steel Box Space, you joined a few months ago, right, Bryan?
We did. Absolutely.
Awesome. And I get to work with you in a leads group as well, which I found very valuable.
Yep. It's been terrific, Paul, and we've enjoyed being a member of the chamber. You've helped us tremendously, so we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, these check-ins are designed to share our member stories, their products and services, but I love sharing and learning more about the people. So let's start with you, Bryan. Tell us and the audience a little bit about your background and history of work that led you to becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, thank you again, Paul. And, I've always loved business. And from a young age, I got married relatively young, had kids. And so, I went the business route, working for other companies. And I got my master's degree, my bachelor's degree and master's degree in business administration in Salt Lake City, and worked for other companies through the finance ranks, up to as high as a CFO, and mostly in the Bay Area, down in San Francisco Bay Area. Got tired of the California rat race, and so got out of there. But I started my own finance consulting business, and it was at that time that I realized working for myself was way better than working for someone else. I could control my destiny, made more money, frankly, and so it was one of the best decisions I'd ever made. And so I just stayed on that path. I was a little late bloomer. You guys can probably tell, I'm a little older dude, but better late than never. But I learned that probably about 10, 15 years ago and stayed on that path ever since.
I love it. How did you find Steel Box? Tell us a little bit about the origin story of that and what brought you to selling these. They're not shipping containers. They're steel flat pack containers. Yep. Anyway, tell us a little bit about that and what drew you to them.
Yeah, we'll get into the end of the product here in a minute, but my son and I were talking about something that we could do together, a business that we could do. He also wants to start his own business. He flies for a shipping company. I'm not going to mention who it is, but he does a lot of international travel, and wanted something that he could do in his off time when he's at home, and also something that he can eventually move into. And so we were thinking about it, and I saw this product. I love it. I think it's an amazing product, amazing quality, and something that we could really do and put our minds behind and make happen. And so we decided on selling these containers, and we'll talk about in a minute why they're way better than anything else out there. But the numbers looked good. Of course, when you start any business, you've got to put the numbers on paper. You can't just run out there willy-nilly and think everything's great. So we did our planning, put the numbers on paper, and saw that it would work for us. And so we decided to move forward with it.
Well, let's go ahead and without further ado, I'm going to bring your website on the screen here today and see if this works. Okay. Bryan, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I sure am. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So why don't you kind of walk through what we have here? Tell us a little bit about these containers.
Absolutely, Paul. So Everybody needs more space. That's just the bottom line. You're never going to have enough, whether it's residential or commercial. Everybody needs more space. But the point about it is to have space that's easily movable, so it's portable, it's durable, it's modular. And that's what we love about these flat pack containers. These are containers, they're not made in China, they're made in Turkey, and we import them in and offer these. They're 20 gauge steel. They're powder coated. They're attractive. Some of these shipping containers that you see are just scratched up. Even they say one trip containers, and they look like they've been through about 20 ships before they're done. But these are actual containers that are, I mentioned 20 gauge steel, powder coated. They take about as little as 30 minutes to assemble or disassemble. So they ship flat. You can store them flat. They can be moved with a regular forklift or even a skid steer with forks on them. The heaviest one is 1,800 pounds, and
wow.
Forklift can do 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. You can put them on a flatbed trailer and pull it with a regular pickup truck or anything that has a towing capability on it. And the reason they're different than shipping containers, Paul, is because shipping containers require, a crane to lift them up and move them on. Typically, it takes a large vehicle that can tow that kind of weight. And so, for that reason alone, it just makes more sense than shipping containers. But these are modular. They have accessories that come with them. We have ramps. We have the shelving units, and we sell these. There are a lot of renting companies out there that rent containers or things like that. We sell these because we think it makes sense for a lot of companies to actually, instead of renting for a long period of time, if it's going to be a permanent thing, just buy one that works for you and works well.
It looks like they're customizable as well.
They are, Paul. We can, one of the things about these is that they come in 7, 10, 13, 16, and 20-foot lengths.
Okay.
But if somebody wants something, let's say 27 feet or 40 feet or even 60 feet, just buy multiple units, and then you can link them together with our linkage kit. You can have an opening on each end. You can have an opening on one end. For some, if somebody orders more, has a multiple unit order, we can actually customize the unit to have a door on the side. We can do custom colors. Those are for quantity orders that we can do that for. Right now we have the light gray color and dark gray color, kind of a charcoal gray color in stock. And we're actually running a 10% discount right now to try to move through the stock and get more in. So now is a good time to pick up one for commercial job sites or residential, whatever people use it for.
Well, let's continue on with that conversation. I was going to ask you, are these for homeowners? Are these for commercial use? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, Paul, these are both. They're for commercial use or residential use. On the commercial side, any business that needs more space, whether it's temporary space, I'm talking about a construction company that has a job site where they need to store equipment and have something secure and lock it up. These are perfect for that because, and way better than shipping containers because, again, just a simple skid steer that's already on the job site, put it on a flatbed trailer and you can move it. You don't even have to disassemble it. You can just move it to your next job site and keep it up. Or if you don't have a use for it for a short period of time, you can just disassemble it and store it flat and then reassemble it at your next job site. So, businesses that just need more space. I mentioned construction companies, residential and commercial developers. It's a perfect opportunity for developers and even on the residential side, brokers and realtors that are selling homes. These look great in a yard. The one thing that I look at when I drive by some of these big box hardware stores that have these ugly sheds, and I'm sorry, I might be a little mean in that, but they are truly hideous looking in my opinion. And after a couple of the Idaho winters, they actually look even worse. And they're kind of a permanent fixture. And these are attractive. They're different colors. You can match them to your home typically. And they're movable. So if somebody sells their home and moves, it's not attached to the ground or anything. You just disassemble it and take it with you. On the commercial side, developers or real estate brokers or realtors can use that as an opportunity, a selling opportunity for people who are buying a home. And they can be a reseller for us. And actually, it's an income opportunity for the agent or broker or developer. So there are a lot of different things that really work.
I love this picture of a kiosk where you can, operate a business out of it.
Absolutely. We've actually had a lot of requests for the kiosks, and that's why we're trying to drive through our current shipment, because we want to get some kiosks in stock. We've had a lot of calls for those. So we want to get some of those in stock and have those available. But absolutely, I had one person who sells fireworks over the 4th of July holidays. Perfect. And that would be perfect for that. Or anything that if you have a mobile, something that is either you have to move around or even if it stays stationary, you can leave it in one place and just drop the opening, but it works perfectly for any of those things.
I saw a video of two people putting one together, and literally it was two people, and it I think it took them, I don't know if it was a time lapse thing, but I think it was like 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, it's very quick, because once you put that flooring piece in place, you're just putting up walls and bolting it together. It comes with all the equipment. We actually, for an additional fee, will deliver and set up for you, for the purchaser. But it's actually pretty simple, and with a one of the wrench, an electric wrench and socket piece, it goes really quickly. So
yes, something I could even put together.
I know. I thought the video you were talking about was the one my son and I were doing, and it just shows me standing there while he's doing all the work.
Right. Oh, yeah. Hey, these look great. I'm glad that you have all these pictures.
Thank you. Yeah, they're wonderful. And that picture right there is an example of moving it with just a standard forklift. I wish we had one. We actually have one. I have some property up in Garden Valley. We have one up there. We moved it with the forks on the bucket of our little Coyote tractor that that we have up there on our property, and moved it just fine. So very easy.
Okay, that's awesome. These are really cool. They're real steel. Looks like the longevity is more than a wood shed, right? What's that coating? Is it just a regular paint? Tell us about the longevity of that coating.
Yeah, powder coating is a different, unique way of painting. It's not just paint, with a spray painter. It's typically dipped, and there's an electronic process. And some of the people watching this, I'm sure, know how powder coating works. So if I say something that isn't completely accurate, I apologize. But it's way better than just a spray coat of paint. It actually adheres a lot better to the steel, and the longevity is amazing. So it's actually much better.
Cool. Well, looks like you're having sales. You're offering a special. What do you say? 10% off.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah, we're offering 10% off right now. We want to move through the rest of the inventory we've got in stock so we can get some more items ordered. If people out there have something specific that they want and they're ordering in quantity, we can include that on our next shipment and get them some really specific things. We're going to bring some kiosks in. We typically stick with the light gray and the darker gray colors. We get some of them with steel flooring and some of them with the regular OSB flooring. The steel flooring is an upgrade. There's an additional cost, but it's an amazing quality. The other thing I wanted to mention, Paul, is that if people watching want to actually see these, just give us a call or shoot us an email. The information's on our website. What I do is I have one on a flatbed trailer and I hook it up to my truck, and I drive it out, and that's how we show it. We can show it at the yard where we keep them. That's okay too. But I like bringing it out to the customer so you can see how easy it is to move.
Okay. Thanks again for sharing with us today your business, and I'm so excited for you to have some success here. I can see a lot of applications for it. So good luck, and let your chamber help you connect. Is there anything else while we have you today that you'd like to educate the listeners on?
Yes, Paul, one other thing I wanted to mention is we are looking, I think I mentioned it before, but we are looking for resellers. So we're happy to work. If you have a business that, if you sell farm goods or farm equipment, or, feed store, different things like that out on the outskirts of Boise, or something, it doesn't matter what it is. If you think that this would be a good retail fit for you, again, they store very easily, and there's a good margin in there, and a good opportunity. And we're looking for resellers. We are the exclusive Idaho distributor for flat pack containers. So, we're where you'll get them, and we're happy to work with you.
Awesome. Well, Bryan, hey, thanks again for your investment in the chamber. Thanks again for your friendship. I look forward to hanging out with you soon when you get back into town. And thanks for the listeners for tuning in to our weekly check-ins with chamber member businesses. Remember to like and share and subscribe from our YouTube channel, and stay tuned in for tomorrow when we check in with Josh Cahalan with Boise Office Equipment. Bryan, safe travels. See you soon, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Thanks, everyone.